Hi guys, it's Pete from MyJuryBench.com. In today's video we are going to cover part 3 of our 3-part series on our diamond pendant. In part 1 we used Blender 2.9 and the Jewelcraft add-on to design a 5-stone bar pendant. In part 2 we used our Sonic Mini monochrome 3D printer and some castable resin to print 4 copies of our pendant. We also discussed the proper burnout procedures for casting resins in your investment and how to set up your furnace. In today's video, we're going to examine the results of that casting, clean up the casting, set the stones, and finish with a polish and a cleaning. If you feel that I'm moving too fast for you to follow along, don't forget that you can use the YouTube player to slow down the video so that you can follow along at your own pace. If you're a Patreon supporter, you're seeing this before this video goes public. And I also want to take the time to thank each and every one of my Patreon supporters for your continued support in helping me make these videos possible. Now, let's get this pendant finished. Okay, so you can see by this casting that it really didn't come out really good the first time. We found out that the gold was not hot enough when we poured it into the investment and ended up with quite a few number of voids. We ended up melting it down again and doing it at a little higher temperature, and the gold flowed perfectly the second time around, but I was unable to get a good picture of the investment. Actually, I was unable to get any picture of the investment when it came out. And so this is the final version of the casting, and the only difference here is we ran it through the buffing machine after we cut off the sprue just a little bit, and I think it came out pretty good. So let's get going on this. Okay guys, so I'm going to get started on part 3, which is cleaning up the pendant and setting the stones. So this is fresh out of casting with just a little bit of cleanup on it. Let's see if we can get it in focus here. And we've got some work to do on this to get all the casting marks off, any of the 3D printing lines that showed up during casting, and we'll get this polished up and ready for setting the stones. This is going to take maybe 15-20 minutes to get this all cleaned up, and I'm going to use some aggressive rubber wheels to do this, and I've got some fine tools here that I'll be using. Also the fine polishing just to kind of take off any fine marks caused by the medium grit, the rough grit, and then we'll just clean it up with some pink rubber wheels, which are for fine polishing. So let's get started on that. And next, I'm going to use the buffing wheel and some green rouge. We're just going to soak our buffing wheel with the rouge, and we're going to start buffing this up. And we'll grab the top. Okay, now I'm going to throw this in the cleaner, guys, and we're going to get this all ready to set the stones, and then I'll use a cup burr to polish down the heads to make them nice and flat onto the stones. And here's our pendant out of the polishing cleaner, and it doesn't look too bad. So now I just want to get the stones set, and then we'll take a good look at what this looks like when it's complete. So we have our 5 diamonds. These 5 diamonds measure approximately, let's see what they are, 3.13 millimeters each. So it's time to find a burr that'll fit that. And I should have a couple of different burrs for these. A 3.1 millimeter burr. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut into these and get ready to get the stones set on them. So let's get that into our flex shaft. And for those of you who've moved up to micro motors, yes, I still use a flex shaft machine. And I want to apologize, guys, this is a little hard to do on the camera, so just bear with me while I try to do this the hard way. Okay, just to make the burr spin easy, I'm going to use this burr lube that I've gotten, God knows from where. I think I got this from Rio Grande. It's a little used, you can see. And I'm going to use that to allow the burr to cut better into the pendant. Okay, so with that done now, I want to take a diamond and I want to do a test and make sure the diamond fits. Okay, looks like we got them all in there, and they just need to be seated correctly. So far, so good. So I have a beading tool that I use. It's an old beading tool, and I use it to push down prongs. And what I do is I start here, and then I'll twist and just start pushing down the prongs one at a time. And then I'll beat it over. Okay, so now that I'm done with the beading tool, I'm going to put that aside, put that back so that I don't lose any of my burrs or bead bars. And I'm going to grab a shallow cup burr. And then what I'm going to do here, this is what I like to do. There's a million ways to do this, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of people telling me I'm doing it right or wrong. But I like to take a shallow cup burr, and I like to push down and just cup every single prong so that they're all about the same. So with this cup burr, maybe this one, I'm going to go through and I'm going to just round off the top of each prong. Okay, so now that they're all beaded, I'm just going to do a final polish and cleaning on this piece, and I think we're done. Okay, so there's our piece. It's complete and ready to go on a chain. The mill graining came out really good from the original design, and I could do a little more polishing on this, which I'll probably just spend a little more time cleaning up some of those little lines from the casting, and I will get this cleaned up to perfection. But I wanted to show you basically from start to finish, designing this and getting it all ready for 3D printing, and then 3D printing it, then getting it cast, whether you do it yourself or not, and have it sent out. From there, we can clean it up and set the stones. So guys, I hope you like this piece. I hope you like this video series. This has been fun to make. It's not a piece that, this particular piece is not going to the customer. We did 3 others that are going to the customer, and this was just a test piece. So I wanted to let you know how easy it is to design with Blender, 3D print it on an inexpensive 3D printer with some castable resin, get that cast up, and make a beautiful piece for a customer. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this series, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to get a notification every time I upload a new video, make sure you hit that little notification bell, and you will be notified every time I upload a new piece. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.